Hi, everybody. It's Matt Scudero with the Credit Research Foundation. Thank you for joining us today, and we're presenting a micro-learning session with NCS. The topic is the necessary components of an effective UCC security agreement. We are lucky enough to have Jerry Bailey with NCS with us today. Jerry, great to see you again. Great to have you with us. We very much appreciate the knowledge share, and I know you have some great detail. I'm going to let you share some detail with us and look forward to it.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you for having me, and I appreciate it. And we always appreciate working with CRF and in any of the educational programs that we both put on. But yeah, our topic today is the necessary components of an effective UCC security agreement. I think most of us kind of recognize that being a secured creditor is a better position to be in than being an unsecured creditor. In the upcoming months, that may reveal itself even more so than it has previously. So we want to make sure that if, yes, we are doing this UCC thing, that we're doing it properly and we're as protected as we believe that we are. Now, in the UCC world, in order to have a perfected secured interest, there's two required elements. The first is a security agreement, and the second is a financing statement. So this security agreement is what starts everything off. This is where we're granted the security interest. This is a contract between ourselves and our customer. It can exist in many forms, standalone agreement. We can put the wording in a dealer agreement, we can put the wording in our credit application, but we do need to make sure that it contains what's required. And the first thing we need to make sure that we have to have the debtor name correct, because getting the debtor name correct with UCC filings has been an issue. We'll talk more about it in another micro learning session we're going to do on the financing statements. But within the security agreement, we need to make sure we have it correct. Article 9 put a change through a few years ago in 2013 to try and help this process of making sure we're searching for the same name, all of us. And what they did was they said, we have to list the exact legal name of the debtor in the security agreement and on the financing statement, exactly as it's listed in the organic public record. And the organic public record is the Articles of Incorporation. So we have to pull the Articles of Incorporation now when we're doing UCC filings. I also believe pulling Articles of Incorporation is a good thing, just as a general credit practice. We need to know legally who our debtor is in case we end up in the legal arena suing them, or we need to know who they are. But in the UCC world, we have to pull those articles, and we have to make sure that we're listing that name. And if we're going to do that, we might as well pull them prior to forming our security agreement, so we do understand that we have the correct legal entity in our security agreement, and we don't need to come back and change that afterwards if we pull the articles, perhaps when we do the financing statement. So we need to have that debtor name correct. The agreement needs to have the granting clause also. Article 9 provides us with this wonderful security to be a secured creditor, but it's consensual. That means it has to be granted to us by the debtor. Case law loves the granting clause that says debtor hereby grants to secured party a continuing security interest in, and then that's the next thing. Our agreement has to have a collateral description. That's where we're going to ask the debtor to pledge collateral to us. And that's where, quite frankly, the debtor has the opportunity to agree to some of it, all of it, or none of it. But we have to list the collateral in accordance with Article 9-102, definitions of collateral. And that's where we're asking the debtor to pledge this to us. Now, when we do this, two different types of UCC filings, blankets and purchase money security interests, the collateral is going to be a little different. In the blankets, it's going to be very generic because the phrase is first in time, first in right. We don't have priority in our goods. So the collateral description in a blanket filing is going to be fairly generic. With a purchase money security interest, it's going to be a little different. If we're selling equipment, a specific piece of equipment to our customer, that collateral is going to be very specific to that piece of equipment. If we're selling inventory that's going to turn over weekly or monthly, then that inventory collateral description needs to allow for that inventory to turn over weekly or monthly. Now, another thing, we need to make sure we're getting the proper parties signing the security agreement. Who are the proper parties? Well, of course, authorized individuals. Our best practice is to see if we can get an officer of the corporation. We know we're pretty set there. Sometimes we can't always get the officer of a corporation. So if we do get it signed, we want to make sure that the person that signed the security agreement was properly authorized. Can we get an authorization by the board of directors that says these people are authorized to sign this? So, can we get that? But we want to make sure that the people signing the security agreement are the people who are authorized to sign on their behalf. So again, there's tremendous value to getting a UCC filing in place, moving ourselves up ahead of the general unsecured creditors when there are defaults, but let's make sure that we are handling things properly. And again, we're secured the way that we believe that we are. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Matt. And if anyone has any other questions regarding UCC security agreements, please feel free to contact me at the information on the slide or contact Matt and he can get you in touch with me.
Jerry, thank you very much. Another great topic, another great delivery, and what an important subject it is. I want to thank NCS for their continued support of the foundation. And Jerry, I want to thank you for your continued support and knowledge share that you always bring to us. I hope our audience enjoyed this. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to Jerry Bailey at the contact information listed in front of you, or feel free to reach out to CRF and we will forward your contact detail and get any questions you have answered for you. We thank you for your support and we look forward to seeing you again real soon. Take care, everybody.